Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on.
What's up? What's up? We are here for recap highlights of the new Alien Romulus film. Now, just a word of caution for people. First off, it's going to be spoilers. So I think you realize that. It's going to be spoilers of this film. But also, I'm more of a casual viewer of this Alien franchise. So you're going to get, again, my recap and highlights, but I don't know like all the different names of these aliens and things like that. So I'm just going to give you just my, again, what stood out to me. So this is the casual viewers' reaction to the Alien Romulus film. Now, let me briefly explain why this is my approach. Now, my experience with the Alien franchise, I was pretty young learning about the Aliens film, the second one, I guess the big one. I really wasn't into that IP. I was kind of a little punk. I didn't watch too many scary movies when I was younger and things like that. So didn't really catch on to the Alien franchise personally, right? And the Alien franchise had its couple sequels and stuff. It kind of came and went for me, right? And then around 2012, a little film called Prometheus came out. Prometheus, this is a film. It was starring Idris Elba, Charlize Theron in her prime, and Michael Fassbender in the film. Of course, I'm watching a film with those actors in it, right? And going into Prometheus, I love the whole premise of it, the philosophical approach, asking the questions of life, but not answering anything, leaving things ambiguous. Love that film, love what it was setting up, and was looking forward to a follow-up for that Prometheus film. Now, around that time, this is when social media was getting more and more toxic. At that time in 2012 and beyond, they started, all these critics trashing all these films, Prometheus, Man of Steel, BVS. So everybody fighting online about everything, right? But a few years later, Ridley Scott was developing the follow-up to Prometheus. Now, today, people think that follow-up is Alien Covenant. But originally, Ridley Scott was developing the film Alien Paradise Lost. Now, if you remember the end of Prometheus, you got Elizabeth Shaw and the android David, Michael Fassbender. They're the only survivors, right, at the end of that film. And they were headed to where the engineers, their home planet, and because Elizabeth Shaw, she wanted answers. Why were they trying to destroy mankind? Now, Paradise Lost, that title rings a bell to a lot of people. That's the famous writings of John Milton, and that story was his retelling of Paradise Eden, the first human couple, and his interpretation of the devil figure, messed up that paradise, right? Ridley Scott was going to take that concept and have David the android like wreck the paradise of the engineers, doing experiments on them and what could he create. Insane concept that I really wish Ridley Scott would have done. But again, you got these critics. Ridley Scott either scrapped the idea or paused it. And then you end up with Alien Covenant, which that film really didn't please. It tried to give you more of the alien story with a little continuation of Prometheus story as well, but it didn't please either audiences. It made a little over 200 million in the box office, Alien Covenant, off of $110 million budget, while Prometheus made over 400 million in the box office off a $130 million budget. So you should have just went ahead and did the Prometheus follow-up. Right now, I would take a novelization of that at the very least. So that happened. That's kind of my history with the Alien franchise. You fast forward to now, there's this new film, Alien Romulus, by the director Fede Alvarez. This is the guy that directed Don't Breathe, which was a pretty good thriller horror film, and the recent film Evil Dead. So he wanted to pay homage to the Alien franchise, and they roll him out for Alien Romulus. So, yeah, with me coming into this film, not really knowing the whole lore with Alien, I'm a little disgruntled because Alien Covenant pivoted away from Prometheus, the story that I like, Prometheus. So, I wasn't sure what to make of what will Alien Romulus be. But in leading up to its release, it was getting some wonderful word of mouth, just from people that I talked to. And so I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to go into this film and see what it got, right? First thing that I pick up with this film, that it's really a story about a brother and a sister. It's Rain, the star of the film, and her android brother, Andy, right? Now, they are space colonizers, and they're looking to scavenge their way going forward. We jump right into it in the first act. They meet this crew. The crew is there. Okay, we'll talk about the crew as we go, but again, the first act moves along pretty well, setting up the team, and they're off in space to do some scavenging or whatever the goal was with that. You get towards the end of the first act, and again, it's just a lot of build up as far as what's going on. You got a few of the guys there in these dark corridors. Something's around the corner eventually, right? That's so good setup by Fede Alvarez, good mood setting for this film. Towards the end of the first act, you get a really cool callback to the original Alien film. Now, again, this film, Alien Romulus, as they made clear, that was a 1979 film. Then you have Alien Romulus, which comes in the timeline before the smash hit Aliens film, right? So that's the timeline that we're at. You get a nice little callback to the original Alien film, the android in the likeness of Ash from the original Alien film. Now, again, he looked familiar to me. I didn't watch the first Aliens film, 100 times, but I was like, oh, that's like that android. He looks familiar, right? So that was a nice little callback. I'm assuming big fans of the Alien franchise, went wild, when they saw him there, right? But this was a very necessary character to have, according to Fede Alvarez. He commented as far as why bring him back. You wanted that familiarity to the Alien franchise, and also you want us kind of like a voice of authority, because he starts kind of explaining, where we are on this timeline and the mission. And he brings up the black goo from Prometheus, right? So I'm freaking out because I'm like, okay, I don't know all about the alien lore, but you talk about that black goo, we can talk now. So Fede Alvarez, the director of this film, he's again trying to bring fans of classic Alien franchise and Prometheus together. So I'm fully on board by the end of this first act because of that character. And again, he's tying everything to Prometheus as well. Now, of course, around this time in the film, aliens get loose. They start attacking people, face hugging. This alien tongue kisses this dude. That whole thing you saw in the trailer. And then you get to the point where that face hugger situation, where the character, her name is Navarro. She sees the alien inside of her. You get, again, that moment from the trailer. And as a character, Kay, played by Isabel Merced, it seems like whoever she's around, they just die in this film. Like, she's a bad luck charm actually in this film. And so, but she gets a chance to practice her horrified face because everyone she's around, in most cases, end up dying, right? So they take her out. Navarro dies. The alien bursts out of her. And then again, you have a little more exposition from the Rook android, because again, this isn't the exact same android from the Alien film. It's just in his likeness. So they're like similar models, is what So they do a good job with that. But he explains again just what's going on, what's the mission. What he feels the mission is again to get that Prometheus strain, that black goo, back, so it can so further research can be done with it. You get more alien action. Bajorn is the next one that's taken out with an acid stab from an alien. It's probably the best death in the film. And this character Bajorn, he was pretty much a jerk to Andy the entire film. So But hey, he got the best death of the entire film. And again, Kay is right there. Isabel Merced looking in horror as someone else dies around her. She's a bad luck this entire film. The other crew member, Tyler, he jumps in the way of an alien to save Rain and Kay. Tyler's taken out. So everyone's taken out. Kay is badly injured. She's been thrown around and tossed around this entire film. And she's pregnant. They say that the character is pregnant during this film as well, too. So she's just all beat up and everything. And she's seeing everybody again die around her. Jumping again further towards the end, you get to that iconic moment where, again, the star of the film, Rain, she's face to face with this alien, and you get that classic stare off that you saw in the original Aliens, and a good homage to that, but a nice fresh little look to it. I knew when this trailer came out, when they showed this shot, I was like, okay, that's a $1 million shot right there. Like, that tells the original, IP fans, like, this is a remix, but you know what I'm saying, we giving you that flavor, right? So pretty cool scene there. Andy actually jumps down, her android brother Andy jumps down, takes out this alien, and they think everything is cool. It's Rain, her android brother Andy, and you got Kay all beat up. Isabel Merced, she's just all beat up. They get back in the ship, thinking they're gonna set course to get on out of here. Kay figures, I mean, again, I don't even know how she survived up to this point. Kay, she's been thrown around and aliens everywhere. Everyone dies around her. She injects herself with this Prometheus strain, the black goo, not really knowing what it's going to do. But just according to the android Rook, this goo was, to advance humanity. You know what I mean? That's what he was trying to say. But really, this black goo, it has unexpected effects, with living organisms. And she needs to try to heal up or something, because man, she's half dead, and she's in that sleep pod, right? And a few moments later, she's banging against the pod. Rain opens it up, and we said Kay was pregnant, right? She wasn't showing the entire film. Now she's showing a full blown her stomach. This is like an old crap moment in this film. You see, she's like full term pregnancy within moments, and this thing's trying to burst out of her. That black goo, again, you never know what it does. And again, that's that Prometheus connection right there. I'm loving this, but this is really freaky. The egg is filled with acid, and you got a baby, and there's some kind of creature, right? The egg falls down, and it has accelerated growth. It grows into a full-grown engineer. It looks like an engineer from Prometheus. This has never happened before. The Alien franchise and the Prometheus franchise. Michael Fassbender, the David Android, he'd be very proud of this moment right here. This is probably what he was trying to accomplish for all these movies, bro. This insane moment. This is a holy crap moment, and it cements this film for me. I was like, automatically, I was enjoying the alien lore and little nods to Prometheus up to that point. Then this moment happens. I'm like, okay, this is stamped a A-tier horror thriller film. It's not a perfect film. There's some wooden performances from the supporting cast. You got some first-time actors, some cliche moments with, one guy's a jerk and stuff like that. And I think Andy, the android, he has a pretty strong performance, in it. And I like Rain, and like I said, and Isabel Merced, she's good at playing scared the entire film and shocked and terrified. So it's okay acting, great alien action. I love the ties to Prometheus. So this full-grown engineer comes up out of Isabel Merced, feeds on his mother host. So he takes out Kay. So that's the first thing he does. He kills her, and then Rain finds a way to maneuver from this engineer, takes him out. At the end of the day, they get away from him. It's Rain surviving, and her android brother Andy. right? So he's in a stasis pod. They're both in a stasis pod, and they fly away on course to a peaceful planet, right? So I gotta say, like I said, those are highlights of the film. Again, a casual viewer reaction and highlights to the film. You know, not being a hardcore alien person, that first act, you know, again, the setup was fast enough, and then the callback to the original Alien film with that android, that original android, or the likeness of him, that was cool. And then they introduced the Prometheus elements to it, and then it's all about just aliens picking them off, you know, to the big moment in the third act where Isabel Merced births an engineer. Insane. I really enjoyed, like I said, those moments in the film. At the time of this recording, this film, I think, is on pace globally to get over 110 million. It's got a B+ cinema score. So domestically, the hardcores are going to see it. And usually with a horror film, you don't get more than a B+. That's really, you're happy with a B+ with a horror, because there's some disturbing stuff in this film. Horror films never get like A's cinema score, because people get freaked out. I mean, you saw the alien stab, the chest bursting, the birthing a engineer, like that. Just that put Isabel Merced on GOAT status. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need to see her in more like horror films, because like she's goated. She gave birth to an engineer. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy right there. But so the film is doing well. Like I said, domestically, it should have like a $45 million opening. It's doing good in China and Korea, according to reports. So again, globally, over 100 million, 110 against a budget of just under 80 million. So doing good. I think they're on their way for profit. But we got to circle back for a moment. This moment at the end with Isabel Merced giving birth to an engineer. Again, I swear, like up to that point, I was like, okay, this is a solid horror film. You know, it's like a solid alien action. Giving that engineer come out at the end, that's like icing on the cake. That's the cherry on top. You know, again, for Prometheus fans like me, that was the cherry on top for this film. And as it explains here again, Kay gives birth to an unholy hybrid of human and alien DNA. Not only does the creature branded The Offspring by the filmmakers resemble the engineers, the alien race that conceived humankind, supposedly, it also echoes the silhouette of what happened in Alien Resurrection. I didn't realize that. I don't even remember watching Alien Resurrection. Again, I'm more Prometheus. According to the director, Fede Alvarez, again, he said he was focused on the mythology of the prequels, Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Like I said, this director, he found a way, I feel. And let me know in the comments below if you're like a huge Alien franchise fan. I hope, you know, he satisfied y'all with this film, because again, me leaning more towards the prequels and that story, that philosophical story and about DNA and the engineers, this film satisfied me, bringing me, you know, over more to the alien side, right? So let me know which side are you on? Do you like them all? And did it satisfy you? As he says, it explores the genetic building blocks of humans and aliens both. And he says, I was hoping that people picked up on the whole engineer part of it. You know, Fede Alvarez, I picked him on that as soon as I saw that face. I saw that face, bro. I was like, oh. I'm like, this is already, I'm buying the 4K. I need this. It goes further. The black goo is the root of the whole thing that was introduced in Prometheus. It's the root of all life. Also, particularly the xenomorphs come out of that thing, which means it has to be inside them. It's like the xenomorphs semen almost. So again, this black goo, there's no straight answer as far as what this black goo is. So I admire him trying to explain it. It's a total MacGuffin. It becomes what you want for the story, but it's building blocks of life. It affects people different ways. It can morph people to something, or like I said, put an engineer in your womb. It made complete sense to me that The Offspring of a human and xenomorph was going to look like that. So that's what he's saying. Like that black goo is basically the makings of a xenomorph, but it can again morph and become whatever. I don't think that's the full definition, you know what I'm saying, of that. This is just his interpretation of it. We'll see in other films, because we've seen, if you saw Prometheus, Alien Covenant, you saw that goo become anything, right? Just it's unpredictable. Now, of course, this wouldn't be a proper Alien film or Prometheus tie-in if it didn't raise more questions than answers, right? As he says, Fede Alvarez says, it's probably a new species because that mix never happened before. Bravo. Like I said, I really enjoyed this experience, really first watching this film, Alien Romulus, and then learning more about just the other Aliens films, kind of catching up. You know, this really got me rewatching. First, of course, I had to rewatch Prometheus after this, Alien Covenant, but then I'm going to go back and watch the original Aliens. Fede Alvarez, he was saying that he has an idea for Alien versus Predator.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to depend on how well this does, and if people want to still see that.
That already should be greenlit right now. Like, let's go. Let's get him, Fede Alvarez. You direct Alien vs. Predator. Let's get some more black goo in there. We need some engineers, man. Oh man, you get engineers versus predators, bro. Alien versus engineer versus predator. Like let's just do it all. Also, side note too, coming up on a TV series. There's more Alien action coming in 2025. Alien Earth. It's a FX series by Noah Hawley. This is the same person that gave us the Fargo series, which I really love, just his sense of humor, and Legion. He did that classic X-Men related Legion series. So yes, sign me up for what Noah Hawley's doing. More Aliens. Now, according to Noah Hawley, he's not really trying to tie to any Prometheus stuff. As far as the time period, I'm not sure. I think it's still gonna be kind of like a prequel thing. Since I like the alien action of Alien Romulus, I'm willing to give that Alien Earth series a chance as well. The casual viewer reaction to this Aliens film, let me know in the comments below what you think of this film, things like that. But I appreciate y'all being patient with me, because again, I'm sure there's someone in the comments saying, no, the name of this alien is this. Like, I know this species and this Earth, and I don't know all that stuff. I just know Prometheus, Alien Covenant. I know of the original Aliens films. I've seen them once or twice my entire life. But I've seen Prometheus dozens of times, right? So much love to Soul Nation. Till next time.